you can now jump in with your opinion as well. Hashtag SCR or hashtag XRB. Who do you think is going to take it? And just, we are actually going to have Cassidy alongside the Rogue. Will that work with Zuniaki healing them, or will XRB to the moon get everything back online and start getting those crucial wins?
We know Zuniaki for his priest play and Mystic known for his rep paladin play, so they're breaking out some alternate classes to try and counter comp the expected lock shaman druid. Feral druids and assassination rogues do a ton of damage. They can get really good uptime as well. On the Warlock, Way of the Crane is a good counter to LSD as well, but he gets hexed instantly. Good dispel from Cassidy. This Way of the Crane could be dishing a ton of pain. They make a swap over to Zeepai. The full blind onto Looney. Maybe they're trying to bait a trinket from him. Looney's trying to not fall for the bait, but ultimately has to trinket. He's going to pop the Tree of Life to try and recover from this initial cooldown burst. Vendetta and the Berserk from Cassidy combo together will dish out a ton of damage, and Looney's doing his best to counteract it. The Tree of Life and his artifact, and so far so good for XRB. This kind of cheeky all-in composition is not catching them off guard whatsoever.
Yeah, so many teams try this double melee setup against XRB to the moon, thinking they can just cleave them down easily, but it almost always backfires, as XRB is usually on point with their offensive CCs as well as their defensive play. Cassidy now forced in position. He doesn't have Trinket, he doesn't have Survival Instincts, he doesn't have anything. He's behind the pillar. This is not the position you want to be in as an Assassination Rogue and a Feral Druid. Like, this is a losing position for them. They basically have to wait for their cooldowns to come back up. Some sort of offensive push. Way of the Crane available for Zuniaki as he pushes in to grab some crowd control on the Looney. But if you look, basically everyone from XRB they're sitting pretty. The only one that's kind of a vulnerability is Zeepai, that doesn't have his astral shift for another 30 seconds.
Yeah, what they need to crowd control is the Way of the Crane. They're trying to use Hex to do that, but Cassidy can remove the Hexes, so Walrix has to follow up with Fears. Right now they've secured a Fear on Zuniaki, but it's not a long enough chain. The Way of the Crane is going to get uptime, and that's a lot of damage going towards Walrix. He's actually dying through Iron Bar currently, which is damage reduction from the Resto Druid. Walrix is now forced to kite away, hanging on by his thread. His Felguard actually went down in that attempt. If they can dip Walrix low like that a couple more times, it may actually be possible for Skill Cap Red to win this. They have the mana lead as well.
Yeah, Walrix being really greedy with that on any resolve. Many Warlocks would have used it in that situation. A lot of pressure coming in from Skill Cap Red. Actually, Vendetta's available for Mystic. If they can get that off without the Iron Bar coming from Looney, they could definitely get a lot of pressure. Axe toss into stun over onto Cassidy. Full Cyclone on Zuniaki. He actually preemptively used his Cocoon, but still Cassidy getting bursted through it. DR Cyclone on Zuniaki. Cassidy activates that second Survival Instinct to keep himself alive, and now Skill Cap Red wants to get aggressive on a Walrix.
And we see a paralysis. Walrix portals away. Cassidy's all over him. Trinket from Walrix. He's got unending resolve. Will he be greedy and not trade it out is the question. He's desperately trying to, but Way of the Crane adds a lot of bonus damage. He's ultimately going to have to trade it out. Mystic is going on a solo mission towards Zeepai to try and force some cooldowns on a split target. Maybe get an Astral Shift or an Iron Bark that will then not be able to be used on Walrix. Walrix is a very open target here. Berserk coming up for 45 seconds. Zuniaki doing a great job avoiding crowd control when he can during that Way of the Crane. Right now we see a stun onto Cassidy as XRB to the moon are trying to develop some pressure. No crowd control on Zuniaki though. He's got the Soothing Mist channeled. It looks like they will easily recover. Zeepai and Walrix though seem to be the ones that are taking the hammering right now. Compositionally, Skill Capped Red are very far ahead in this matchup.
Yeah, his Felguard keeps dying. It's unfortunate for Walrix. Really can't get too aggressive. Needs to focus on resummoning it. Ultimately trinkets, portals, and gets that cast off. So he is going to have a pet available. Kidney Shot now committed over onto Zeepai. Some pressure onto him. And Skill Cap Red, and they've been doing a good job in this game. Zuniaki around 70% mana. Looney not doing so well. Zeepai also getting low, trying to cast out the Ice Sphere and get some counter pressure going, but the split strategy coming in from Skill Cap Red is keeping everyone low.
And Looney doesn't want to trade cooldowns until he sees them, but Berserk has been popped. He's running out of time. He trades out Iron Bark, but he's got 2 targets at low HP with basically 3 DPS members running them down with that Way of the Crane activated. Blind trinketed by Looney. Wants to line that up. He's got Tree of Life going to negate the Berserk. But Tree of Life is really expensive. You can use Regrowth and spam that out as an instant cast, but it's one of your most expensive spells. That's why Looney's just running out of mana at a faster rate. We see a Cyclone attempt landed on Zuniaki. Unfortunately, it was DR'd. Now he's going to get caught into a paralysis. Walrix is caught into a full Kidney Shot with no unending resolve. Zeepai just trying to counter pressure instead of healing him. Walrix is going to portal back behind the pillar. Pressure in favor of Skill Capped Red. Vendetta is ticking towards Walrix. Zuniaki right on top of him as well. If Looney gets caught into an in-cap leg sweep in the next couple 18 seconds or so, they could find a kill. Cassidy needs to survive to that point though. Zuniaki caught into a stun. Way of the Crane going to be activated. This is it. This is the moment. Skill Capped Red have a miracle opportunity here. Shadow Step kick onto the Cyclone. Walrix is completely alone and taking a ton of damage. Zeepai trying to support him, but hanging on by a thread. Looney caught into leg sweep. They're running out of time. They don't don't manage to snag the kill. That was their one window, and Walrix hangs on.
I don't know how Walrix survived there. That was actually unbelievable. Looney got kicked into a full incapacity. Walrix just somehow surviving. Zeepy just spamming out heals over and over, and ultimately he will live. Skill Cap Red losing a little bit of that pressure there. Unending Resolve is going to be available for Walrix right now. Looney still has his Iron Bar too. We are just hitting dampening in this spot. Mystic trying to connect to his target, actually using his Vanish to get a Garrote over onto Looney, putting a little bit of pressure out.
All right, Walrix and Zeepy are actually smartly both playing Dwarf. Dwarf Racial allows them to remove bleed effects, which both Feral Druids and Assassination Rogues focus all of their damage into. So I'm guessing that Walrix used his stone form during that last attempt, removed all of the bleeds, and because of that damage reduction he was able to gain from this racial choice, he was able to survive in a moment that he would have otherwise instantly died. He's now on the back foot though with Looney caught into crowd control. This could be on in resolve, but Cassidy getting counter pressured at the same time. Zuniaki barely gets the life cocoon out before that critical fear crowd controlled him. Zeepy is now rotting low as well. Looney is running out of mana. We're now just getting into dampening. Zeepy is having a hard time recovering his HP. Cassidy's all over him. Looney's trying to pick up two members of the team. He's forced to use Healing Touch, gets blinded on the heal. Trinket's right away. Mystic's on top of him. He kidney shots the Trinket. He goes for the Vendetta. Cassidy moves over for a swap as well. Looney's not using Barkskin there. Cassidy finally getting counter pressured away. 19 seconds on that way of the crane. He needs to get behind the pillar and recover. Zeepy knows they need to kill him in this 15-second window. He's going to jump on top of them, but they've all at half HP. Looney's almost tapped on mana. It's going to be one more final push to kill Cassidy, but they're not finding it. They can't hold him down. Way of the crane coming back in 4 seconds, and this next way of the crane can easily close the match.
Yeah, Cassidy has a berserking for that moment as well. Incapacitated on Looney. Walrix gates away right away. Cassidy still on top of him. Light sweep onto Looney. Walrix and Zeepy both getting low. Potentially a double kill coming in here for Skill Cap Red as Walrix gates away. Mame Stun on him. Pressure for both teams. Skill Cap putting out so much damage. They have the poisons on both targets as well as those Feral Bleeds as well. So this composition's working out so well for Skill Cap Red.
This is a great blind pick from Skill Cap Red with the incap secured. Walrix will hang on by it. Red again. A miracle and staying alive. This is why this team is top of the ladder, even in situations that they're completely counter-comped. They pull off miracles. They stay in the fight. Skill Cap Red, no, they're just going to reset the fight, wait for Way of the Crane, make another push. Walrix still has no ending resolve. They know they've got no Iron Bar. Walrix will be completely exposed. Zeepy is a vulnerable target as well. Mystic needs to get his bleeds running for that extra burst of damage. Cassidy caught into a stun with no trinket. That's the Fel Lord. This is it. Can they take Cassidy down? He's going to dodge out of the Fel Lord. Looney gets stunned on his Tree of Life. That's a double stun from Zuniaki. Way of the Crane is activated. Here's a lot of damage. Zeepy's got Astral Shift though out of the stun. That's going to be an easy trade for him. I would have much rather seen the Vendetta onto Walrix. Maybe they just kill him through it. There's still a lot of damage. Looney with no Iron Bark has Artifact. He's trying to hold on to it. Cassidy getting bursted down at the same time. It could be a cross kill here as both members go on 5%. Zeepy falls first and Cassidy hangs on. And Skill Cap Red are going to just show us a composition that nobody would have expected from them. And they're going to
Trust me, Vemriki. You know what else we can trust? That these teams are going to put it all on the line right now. Elimination match, losing team no longer in this tournament. Both of these guys sit in a relatively good position to be grabbing that spot to the LAN as well. It starts here. Who is going to take the victory?
Yeah, Skill Cap Red might pop an ollie on that skateboard ramp and lead this series 2-0. XRB to the Moon are going to have a lot of damage thrown at them, and let's see if they can survive.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if they can, and depending on how this match plays out, maybe I was right. Maybe XRB to the Moon was baiting Skill Cap Red onto this jungle right away. Adam Rex is going to be charging in, looking for that initial crowd control. You can see XRB to the Moon, they're just going to be camping out this room. Triple bursting shot, axe toss over onto Adam Rex. He trinkets out, gets the full Wyvern Sting. Zeepy's caught into the stuns, he can't dispel it. A lot of pressure going to be going out onto Zeepy right now. Astral Shift going to be used as he tries to kite away, but still, the CC's not over. Zeepy getting lower as Adam Rex and Cassidy look to close out this game.
Ulrich is not playing Portal, he's playing Mortal Coil. It's going to be an all-in strategy from both teams. If they go after Walrix, realizing he's got no Portal, he's completely vulnerable. Right now, they're not doing it. They're just trying to go down Zeepy, but it's not really getting anything done. Zuniaki caught into a full fear, no trigger in 10 seconds. Cassidy activates Survival Instincts. He's getting Earthquake stunned. Adam Rex now caught into an axe toss. Zuniaki into another fear. Good crowd control from Walrix. His offensive play this game is immaculate. It's really putting Skill Cap Red behind, but in the meantime, Looney's burned down his Iron Bark. He's burned down the Astral Shift as well. Looney caught into a bursting shot, now into a full trap, but Cassidy is dipping low. Zuniaki activates the Rapture, but if the Purges come in, he could easily just fall. He's hanging on 20%. Pain Suppression has to be traded out as both teams race to this finale. There's no cooldowns left on either side, but a triple cap totem secured by Zeepy. Adam Rex and Cassidy are getting bursted down, and Zuniaki's got nothing left. The Mortal Coil could be enough crowd control to secure a win into the fear, and Walrix with A-game offense was able to turn this match in favor for his team.
That was actually our code talking about dwarves. That was what we were doing with our eyebrows here. But you don't need any decoder for what's about to happen. It's all gonna unfold in front of you with the smooth stylings of Supatis and Venruki. Open the gates!
All right, there, Rich, jump down a little bit. Everybody at home, get hyped, get ready. This is a lower bracket elimination match. Both these teams are very close on points to qualify. Both these teams need a first place finish to actually make it. So far, Skill-Capped Red have used this composition, Feral Druid, Assassination Rogue, and Mistweaver Monk to try and counteract the main setup from XRB to the moon. Will this large map allow XRB to kite out and dampen their opponents, or will Zuniaki get in their face, immediately leading the charge with a leg sweep? No damage really pulled just yet, though, so that crowd control has basically been wasted.
Yeah, Mystic and Cassidy just looking to build up their damage, putting their bleeds on multiple targets. There's a full Hex on to Zuniaki. Cassidy caught into the stun lock. That's going to be Cocoon coming in from Zuniaki as he gets caught into the full Cyclone. Cassidy using survival instincts as well. Sort of tanks out some of this damage coming in from that Fell Lord of Warlock. Throat Silence now onto Looney as Warlock and Zeepie start rotting down just a little bit, but not the same pressure we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, now Berserk has been popped. Let's see if Looney's going to go into Tree of Life. He gets paralysis away. Zeepie the primary target for now, but Cassidy and Mystic are really feeling the pain right now. Zuniaki trying to pick them up with that revival. Somebody in Shadaloon to try and heal his team back up. Nice recovery, but they're stacked up behind the pillar. XRB to the moon, triangle position, trying to pincer them behind the pillar. Mystic trinketing out, going for a kidney shot. Vendetta trying to pull more trinkets with a leg sweep onto Looney. Walrus trying to play it patient and cool. He's going to portal out of line of sight. He's right on top of his gateway if he needs to make a getaway. Defensive fears on the Cassidy. Looney is no longer crowd controlled. Defensively, XRB to the moon are looking way better than in game number 1.
Yeah, Zuniaki actually trinketed out a stun into a full fear. That was nicely done by Walrix, and that's how they're able to get some of this pressure right now. But Zuniaki with the Way of the Crane is going to be able to easily chop off his team. When Way of the Crane is activated, it's going to be up to XRB to CC Zuniaki, or they're not really going to be able to put out too much pressure. Full blind now committed over on the Looney. Mystic not going to be able to get the follow-up stat, so Looney's going to be able to sit that full blind out of that crowd control. Hopefully top off his team. Ironbark's still not going to be available as Warwick and Zeepie hover around 50% HP.
Good pressure on Walrix and Zeepie. They're really just trying to run Looney out of mana, but it's quite even in terms of mana, as I expect this game to go into dampening. Also, with the damage over time effects, they can target down Walrix's pet quite easily by just dotting it up and letting it rot, and Looney has to spend even more mana to heal basically an extra target on his team. So compositionally, Skill-Capped Red should have the advantage here. Let's see if they can execute. We see Way of the Crane. How are they going to control this? Zuniaki really adding a lot of damage and immediate healing to his team. It doesn't look like they can land a Cyclone. Looney tries to sneak that in. Unfortunately, it was diminishing returns, so Zuniaki still leading the charge. Really not getting any defensives, though, with that Way of the Crane. It was almost just to recover his team. Zuniaki trying to chain crowd control out of it now with a leg sweep. Zeepie the primary target. He needs to be careful. Doesn't want to throw away the game. He trinkets. He trades out Astral Shift, but they're still on top of him. He jumps back to safety. Looney's no longer crowd controlled. He's trying to pick him up with a quick swift man. Cassidy now ducking behind the pillar, caught into an axe toss and trying to play it greedy, as he did get behind the pillar before getting stunned. He manages to be greedy. That's going to allow him to use his trinket aggressively later on and maybe just take Zeepie out.
Yeah, Skill-Capped really implementing that hit and run strategy. Whenever Way of the Crane is active, they're able to get aggressive. Warwick's pet's actually been killed off. Cassidy wants to get aggressive in the situation. Incapacitate over on the Looney. Looney's mana's not doing that great either. Warwick does get his pet out at the expense of his trinket, so that's not going to be there for him. Full fear now over onto Zuniaki, but Mystic and Cassidy are going to be sitting pretty at this time. Zeepie casts out the Ice Sphere, looking for some pressure. Manages to find some damage on the Cassidy, but like we said, Zuniaki, he almost has a Life Cocoon, he has a Revival, he has a Way of the Crane. His team should be fine.
Yeah, and he's on Fear DR if he wants to activate the Way of the Crane. It's a bit surprising to not see him do it yet. Maybe he just wants crowd control, and he knows that he wants to try and kill Zeepie with this next attempt. If they get a trinket on paralysis, they can blind him full later, but they're really not having enough damage just yet. Way of the Crane can be activated. He's going to attack Looney a bit, try and punch him, force him to put hots on himself and spend more mana. With a well-timed innervate, though, Looney's got free casted heals. That's going to allow him hot his whole team. Fell Lord available. Walrix is looking to try and turn this fight around. Are they going to unleash the Fell Lord? They stun up Zuniaki. They drop the Fell Lord onto 2 members. Zuniaki immediately trinkets, activates the Revival. It's going to pick up his whole team. He ducks behind the pillar. Good reaction from Zuniaki to survive the attack of Walrix.
Yeah, very nicely done to keep them alive. Kidney shot now committed over onto Zeepie. He's going to be taking a little bit of pressure. Like I said, Skill-Capped Red, they're not able to find that same amount of damage we saw in game number 1. And now Cassidy gets bursted down. Survival Instinct's going to be traded out by him on that Valkule's consumption. Nice defensive Cyclone coming in from Looney as well. Zuniaki rots down. Way of the Crane shortly going to be available. He gets speared on it. Pops away the Crane, gets speared immediately, gets out of the fear. Unfortunately, that breaks. Cassidy, though, still taking so much damage. his line of sighting. Finally going to be charging in, trying to get some pressure now over onto Zeepai. Fear on the way of the Crane once again, but Zuniaki should be able to stabilize his team. A lot of burst damage coming in from XRB. Zeepai is going to be charging in. He does not want Zuniaki to get a full reset.
They had to defensively blind Walrix. That's going to put Skill Caps Red heavily behind. At this point, they're relying solely on mana, but that's if they can even recover with the entire team below 50%. They are on the run. Looney blinking in, aggressively going for the bash to secure the game. He's trying to fake cast a skull bash. He gets stunned up to deny it. Everyone rotting down. Cloak of Shadows. Mystic will survive. Cassidy trades on survival instincts. He'll survive 2 more seconds. Zuniaki needs to get this way of the Crane. If he gets crowd controlled on this, they will easily go down, but he doesn't. He gets the heals connected right before a Cyclone landed, topping his team off and buying them more time to carry this fight out. But defensively, Cassidy and Mystic are running on fumes. They still have Zuniaki locked down. They switch the clone to Cassidy. They hex up Zuniaki. Great cross crowd control from XRB. Mystic down on half, and they're going to be forced to run away here shortly, and if they don't, it's going to be a risky move.
Yeah, they're going to fall further and further behind. Zuniaki, you know, with the Crane, 20 seconds. Walrus and Zeepai doing a good job playing aggressive. Walrus pet dies off. Unfortunately for him, he's going to have to pour it away, make sure that he can get that pet back up, but it's not going to be contested whatsoever. Looney, I like to see him play a little bit more aggressive in this matchup as well. It's good for him to charge in, get that bash. Cassidy now getting out the full Cyclone onto Zuniaki. I think that is going to be it. XRB cleaning up their gameplay completely. This did not look like the same counter comp we saw in game number 1.
You know, it's been one of those things that we've seen quite a few times, maybe getting a little bit caught off guard for composition once some of these top teams, but then they go, okay, look, you're trying something new, and we've been doing this all year long. Keep queuing it and watch what happens. And ultimately, that's what XRB does here. They managed to bait a composition they already knew that they were going to be able to be. At this point, Skill Cap Red needs to do something bigger. They're just going to get absolutely cleaned up. XRB to the moon, starting to run the clinic.
I'm not sure why Skill Capped Red picked Ashamane's ball. It's such a weird pick. They're a melee cleave. They want to have uptime on Warwick. Warwick can gate from one side to the other, port away behind pillars. He has free reign on a map like this. And I mean, even
XRB just needs to close it out here to keep themselves valid. Let's get these gates open and see the results.
Yeah, Looney getting aggressive with Cyclones is definitely key, as Zico pointed out. It got the trinket and got the kill. So if Looney can sneak in these Cyclones, he definitely win the game. What I'd like to see Skill Cap Red do is go after Looney and attack him if he's going for these Cyclones. He could definitely fall over. He opted to not go Tree of Life, realizing that ran him out of mana and he didn't really need it. So without Tree of Life, he could be an open target to train down. I really hope that Skill Cap Red change up their targeting moving forward if they want to win this.
Yeah, I think it could be a strategy. It could also backfire, though. Walrus and Zeepai known to put a lot of pressure on that Elemental Shaman and Demonology Warlock. Skill Cap Red going to be getting aggressive on a Walrus very early on. No split strategy right away. Looks like most of the pressure is going out onto Walrus. It didn't work out for them last time, but maybe in this game with a little bit more focused damage, they could ultimately take Walrus down.
All right, that was the way of the Crane from Zuniaki, but he had to roll away from getting crowd controlled, and it looks like they could go after Looney a bit. He's in bear form, he's ready for it. They're not going to commit. Zeepai still the primary target. Cassidy waiting to pull the trigger on that Berserk. Ironbark from Looney will deny some of the damage, but now they swap over to Walrix. They could immediately pull an unending resolve with this amount of damage. Walrix is trying to play it greedy. He ports, he gates. Looney's sitting through crowd control and manages to connect the Swiftmen to save Walrix. Zeepai now down 50%, but Mystic is forced to run away, and Way of the Crane is still 13 seconds away, and 13 seconds doesn't sound like a long time, but with Zeepai and Walrix dishing out a ton of damage, it's definitely quite a ways. 5 seconds away from it. Mystic is trinketed. They need to get something done with it, but now Zuniaki gets feared. Cassidy's going to fall behind. That's going to get a survival instincts from him. This Way of the Crane, I would love to see a swap, but it looks like they're going to go after Walrix instead. He's going to trinket. He ports behind the pillar. Cassidy's now stuck in midfield. Zuniaki activates Way of the Crane to try and pick him back up. He needs to connect with this. He's going after Zeepai actually in a bit of a swap, and Zeepai's playing it greedy. Activates the stone form, takes all the bleeds off of himself, but he's still low on health. He gets kicked on the healing surge. Looney is struggling to heal. He's trying to be greedy, and these are the greedy plays that Looney makes. If you're not committing a cooldown, he's not going to either, and he just maps it out and manages to hang on by a thread. That's going to put them quite a bit ahead.
Yeah, Looney not opting to trinket the blind once again. Mystic not going to have the follow-up sap. Now a lot of damage being committed over onto Walrus, incapacitate onto Looney as Walrus is forced to use that unending resolve, and I think that's one of the greedy plays that ultimately didn't pay off. So much better to just have your trinket line up with the blind. Now Walrus, no unending resolve, 3-minute timer. I think that's very unfortunate for XRB to the moon, but ultimately a decision they're going to have to live with. A little bit of pressure now over on the Cassidy. Zuniaki's going to be be activating that Way of the Crane. Still good burst pressure onto Warlock as Looney's caught into the full leg sweep. Valkyle's consumption going to be cast out onto Cassidy. So much damage, and just one clean setup from XRB closes out the game, and that is what makes them so threatening. They have Zeepie on the Elemental Shaman, Warlock on the Demonology Warlock, and when they get that burst off, good night.